The 49ers just lost 30-28 to the Green Bay Packers on a walk-off 51-yard field goal, and now their record is 2-1. Here are the 49ers grades for this performance. Quarterbacks, C+. Jimmy Garoppolo was resilient and clutch in the fourth quarter, but he stunk before then. And he finished the game with a fumble and a quarterback rating of 87.2, a worse rating than Jared Goff and Jameis Winston posted against the Packers defense this season, which puts Garoppolo's modest performance in perspective. The Garoppolo offense scored a mere 20 points. Head coach Kyle Shanahan had to call a run for Trey Lance in the red zone to get to 27 points because the Garoppolo offense simply isn't good enough against teams with great quarterbacks. Running backs, D. Trey Sermon was awful. He rushed 10 times for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. Take away his longest run of the night, a 16-yarder, and he rushed 9 times for 15 yards. And he was the only tailback who touched the ball. 3 backup tailbacks ran 0 times. More on that decision in a minute. The fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, got the ball 9 times and scored a touchdown. He's the only reason this group doesn't get an F. Wide receivers, C. Brandon Ayuk was solid. He caught 4 passes for 37 yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel was not good, though. He dropped at least 1 pass and caught only 50% of his targets. Tight ends, B. George Kittle caught 7 passes for 92 yards, but did not score and did not make an impact as a blocker. And Ross Dwelley still hasn't gotten the ball this season. What a travesty. Offensive linemen, F. They gave up 4 sacks and 11 quarterback hits to a defense that was missing its top pass rusher and came into the game with just 1 sack. Also, the 49ers couldn't run the ball either. They averaged less than 3.5 yards per carry for the second game in a row. Shameful. Defensive linemen, F. They generated almost 0 pressure against a bad offensive line that was down to its 3rd-string left tackle. Nick Bosa was a ghost, as were the rest of the pass rushers. Aaron Rodgers had time to do his taxes in the pocket. He also had time to post a quarterback rating of 113. The pass rush simply hasn't been the same without DeForest Buckner. Linebackers, F. These guys couldn't stop the run, and Fred Warner committed a 24-yard pass interference penalty for good measure. Just a horrendous performance by the 49ers front 7. Safeties, D. Jaquiski Tartt gave up a 47-yard catch to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but Jimmy Ward partially redeemed him by knocking out Devontae Adams for 1 play with a clean hit. Cornerbacks, F. Josh Norman started in place of Diamador Lenore and left almost right away with the chest injury. Then Lenore took over and committed a 25-yard pass interference penalty. Nickelback K'Wan Williams also left the game early with a calf injury, which means the 49ers are paper thin at cornerback once again. Special teams, A. Trenton Cannon had a 68-yard kickoff return, and Brandon Ayuk gained 23 yards on 2 punt returns. That's 91 yards of hidden yardage, or 9 first downs. Coaches, D. Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, did a good job manufacturing points without his top running backs. He brought in Trey Lance at the right times in the red zone, and Lance gave the 49ers an extra touchdown. This game wouldn't have been close without him. But Shanahan, the head coach, didn't use his 3 backup running backs, and he should have, because the starter, Sermon, stunk. If Shanahan didn't need backup running backs, he could have made backup cornerbacks Drake Kirkpatrick and or Ambry Thomas active, because he sure needed them. Also, Shanahan, the head coach, mismanaged the clock on the 49ers' final drive. They had the ball at the Packers' 12-yard line with 43 seconds left, and it was first down. Green Bay had 0 timeouts left. The 49ers could have taken all the time off the clock and ensured Rodgers never touched the ball again. But Shanahan went for the touchdown, and it left Rodgers with 37 seconds to drive the offense for a field goal, and that's all he needed. But the biggest goat of this game was defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans. He had no answers on the final drive, made it seem extremely easy for Rodgers to drive the field with no timeouts. Ryans also managed to make the Packers' pathetic offensive line look impenetrable. He couldn't do anything to generate pressure, and his secondary gave up big play after big play. Almost nothing Ryans called worked. What a huge step down from Robert Saleh. It seems the 49ers defense is an issue. It looked good the first 2 weeks because it faced quarterbacks who are no better than Garoppolo. But now it will face Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray back to back. Good luck, D'Amico.